Good morning, coffee moaners. Good morning and welcome to the Sawalha-Adderleys, where we try to keep the news real. We try to keep the news humanistic, emotional, and from the heart. Here is the Sawalha. Bless her.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, welcome everyone. Welcome to, if you're listening on podcast, welcome as well. We do endeavor when we play clips or show photos to also describe what it is we're showing, apart from when someone is speaking in another language, in which case you may have to pivot over to YouTube to watch and understand. But I just want to say, firstly, an enormous thank you to everyone who came on the 2 lives that we did last night. The first one was very challenging, as I just said to Nadia, as we kind of went live at the moment we predicted it was all going to kick off with the Gaza Flotilla, which is, of course, the humanitarian aid flotilla heading towards Gaza. For anyone who's unaware, with, take 44 nations, over 50 ships, the likes of Greta Thunberg on there too. So they were due to kind of get towards or get near to Gaza in the last 24 hours. And last night, the Israeli occupying forces intercepted and did what we all expected them to do, which was prevent the ships from getting there. So we went live as that happened. We then did another update at midnight last night, where we were all, I think, surprised and delighted to see that so many ships were still plowing through the sea. And so consequently this morning, it's still a live news situation. Not all boats have been got, and we've got lots of clips that landed shortly after even the late live last night, which I've kind of pulled together, and clips from this morning to share with you. And where are you at with it all?
I'm really upset and horrified, and each day I can't believe I'm going to be more horrified than the day before at the complete lack of engagement by governments from across the world. So let's not pussyfoot around this. These individuals, peaceful individuals, were taken hostage, right? In international waters. That is a war crime. Okay?
It's piracy now.
Yeah. So just imagine if that was any other nation doing that. Just imagine. Just think about that for a minute. Do you think that Keir Starmer might have got a little involved if British citizens were taken hostage, I don't know, say by an Arab nation, for instance?
Absolutely.
Or an African nation, or South America. I'm just trying to think of all the areas in the world where that wouldn't be allowed. Oh God, most of them.
Could you imagine anyone boarding an Israeli boat? Ever?
Yeah.
Can you imagine the screams of anti-Semitism? I mean,
well, that's what I was wondering. So that's what I'm really questioning.
In fact, when the Houthis did it, they were called terrorists.
Yeah. So this isn't an act of terror. This isn't a war crime. We are now in a situation in our country where our humanitarian lawyer prime minister doesn't think it's worth standing up for international law. So that's how I feel. I am beyond angry. Yeah. I think it is yet another stain on our history, on our name, on our humanity. And I am incredibly worried about the people on those boats, because 2 days ago, Israel, Ben Gvir, illegal settler, decided that they had found evidence in the ruins of Gaza City proving that the flotilla was actually financed by Hamas. And we know what happens when they accuse anyone of being Hamas. What happens? What happens? So I'm really, really worried about these. To me, I said to our daughter this morning, in your lifetime, you will not see other heroes like this in your lifetime. Make sure you are listening to this story, because the mainstream media skirting their way around it as much as they have to refer to it a bit.
Yes, exactly. And they really are skirting their way around it. And also I did a brief piece last night on how all of the mainstream media in America and Europe and Britain are describing the interception and hijacking and taking of hostages by Israel as the boarding or the intercepting. None of the illegality of what Israel is doing is being talked about, and none of the absolutely astonishing hypocrisy and double standards of actually we're dealing with a flotilla of aid providers.
Yes. So these people that call it intercepting, are pro children being starved to death, are pro women being starved to death, are pro men being starved to death. Because do you know what? I'm sick and tired of us only being able to ever say children.
Yes, absolutely.
These people, the Palestinian people, are being bombed, shot at, and starved to death. They are disallowed medicines. They blocked on the border the other day the high protein peanut butter that is allowed into famine-ridden countries that have been. This is a man-made famine, don't forget. That's not allowed in. Israel has decided that's not allowed in because Hamas might get the peanut butter.
Peanut butter is
so
Hamas.
if you are not for these people, these humanitarians on this boat, then you are pro starving people to death. Precisely. That's the difference. All they've got on that boat is food and medicine.
Precisely. Boats. Absolutely. And absolutely no one, not even the ship of veterans, which was led by or had Greg Stoker and Quentin Quarantino on board, which by default became the lead ship. For those of you who weren't there last night, 6 ships got intercepted pretty quickly. They were the highest profile ships last night, featuring, passengers and crew members such as Greta Thunberg. And as the IDF salivated over their victory, having intercepted those, the other boats,
they took their mind off everything else. And I think, Greg Stoker, and I'm only talking about Greg because I followed him so much. There are obviously countless different ships with other influencers, other activists, other humanitarians who are from countless other nations. And of course, a lot of the boats just seeped through and carried on. But we've always heard about the army being very, very, very young army, very untrained army.
Yeah.
I mean, you get these videos of them just like pumping up to music, but actually the reality of it, a lot of them are just kids.
Well, half of them are kids, and you'll see from some of the clips, some of them really struggling to go from one boat to another. It's almost like they're at a seaside sort of event. Yes. Just to quickly tell you what else we're going to be talking about, we are also going to be homing in on some really brave, rigorous journalists who were holding Labour MPs to task at the Labour Party conference. We've got some great clips.
And being met with Trump-like
opposition. Yeah.
Guys, please subscribe to this channel. It doesn't cost anything. Just hit the subscribe button. Let's get this video out. Most people haven't got a bloody clue what's going on with this global Samud.
Now, Nadia was at an event last night that she had to go to, and so consequently, she got back incredibly tired. And so some of the footage I know you'll have seen, but it's kind of helpful because you're in a position that some people
I'm seeing it for the first time.
I do just want to flag up this. This is the latest headline from Middle East Eye, just so we can orientate ourselves now. Israel has intercepted nearly all Gaza-bound flotilla vessels, leaving just 3 operational. And I just want to talk about this. This is kind of the state of play with the boats. According to the Global Samud Flotilla tracker, only 3 vessels remain operational. The Fair Lady and Marinette are still in contact and still sailing towards Gaza.
And I saw a video that made me cry my eyes out earlier of hundreds of Palestinians standing in the sea with the absolute hope that someone was going to get through. I mean, imagine that. Imagine that we are down to that. And like the other side of the border, there are trucks filled with food that if only our governments would put proper pressure on, sanction, like they have other terror states. Why can't they sanction them? Why can't they get that food across? You've got people standing in the sea praying that many of these boats are like broken down, like just honestly stuck together practically with glue. And I just pray that they just see one at least to know that we care.
Well, on that note, the Mykonos on the tracker, which is the boat that's got the closest to shore. It's like minutes away from the shore. The Mykonos is stationary on the flotilla, and communications are down, and they're awaiting some kind of confirmation from the crew, which suggests perhaps they've been intercepted in some way too.
So how far do you think those Palestinians would see them?
I think looking at that, I mean, I don't know. I think they might be able to see. I don't know whether they could see that. I mean, the thing is, apparently there are lots of boats in the water around Gaza that are stewarded and shipped by the gibbering, psychotic terrorist settlers. So in a weird way, it's kind of careful who you intercept you, because you've got the IDF and then you've got the settlers who are going to come and get you.
Illegal.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show some clips. I've spent ages this morning compiling and pulling together. So bear with me. Some of you may have seen some of these clips before. They're kind of chronological through the night, arriving kind of at where we're at this morning. So this was late last night. So this is material that landed last night for some of those of you who maybe didn't catch these moments, and they're dramatic, and I'll give some context if they need them here and there. The first is a radio call on one of the ships, which I know you sent me and you found really chilling.
War zone. If you continue and attempt to breach the naval blockade, we will stop your vessel and act to confiscate it through legal proceedings in court. You bear full responsibility for your actions.
So that was the first message I heard. That was the first thing we all heard. This was, most of the boats on the Global Flotilla's live streams went down. One boat, Captain Nikos, sent hearts and peace signs as they got closer to the naval blockade. And as they were heading, this is footage of them on the CCTV, there was rumor and chat last night, Nads. This is them waving, waiting to be boarded. There was rumor and chat that there may have been naval mines, sea mines laid out in the sea. That hasn't been verified. We haven't had that confirmed, but the radar was picking up strange kind of things in the sea. This is footage of one of the boats, the Captain Nikos, as they were preparing to be boarded. It was just nice to see them. They were giving heart signs, waving.
The threat. Thiago afterwards.
This is it.
Yeah.
This is it.
You are instructed to change your course. Any further attempt to sail towards Gaza endangers your safety and places you within an active war zone. If you continue on your route and attempt to breach the naval blockade, we will stop your vessel and act to confiscate it through legal proceedings in court.
Attention, Israel offensive forces. This is Thiago Avila from the steering committee of the Global Sumut Flotilla. We advise you that we are a humanitarian, non-violent solidarity mission to break the illegal siege imposed by Israel 18 years ago against the Palestinian people in Gaza, and to create a humanitarian corridor. We carry only food, aid, we carry water filters, we carry crutches, we carry baby formula for the people that you've been starving to death. I repeat, you've been committing genocide for 8 decades and ethnic cleansing against the Palestinian people, and that is absolutely against international law. Once again, we are in international waters, which is not your jurisdiction. We are heading to Palestinian territorial waters, which is not your jurisdiction, despite the fact that you think you can occupy that land, but all of this is completely illegal. The highest judicial authority in the world, the International Court of Justice, in their provisional rulings on the case opened by South Africa against you for the crime of genocide, clearly stated that you are prohibited to hinder any humanitarian mission to get to Gaza. Once again, in a planet of 8 billion people, people despise you starving children to death, bombing hospitals, schools and shelters. We are here with the conscience of the world, moving peacefully in a non-violent humanitarian mission to take this aid. You are not allowed by international law to stop us. Therefore, we do not comply with your request, because your request is still an attempt to perpetuate the genocide of the Palestinian people. We are here in solidarity with them, so we do not comply with occupation, with an apartheid system, and with a racist and supremacist ideology called Zionism. Over.
We repeat, this is the Israeli Navy. You are approaching a blockaded zone.
Oh my God. Heroes, heroes, heroes.
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 Heroes. Knowing that they have been threatened with the worst prison in Israel, knowing that they have been accused of being Hamas, knowing all of that, dignified, powerful.
The thing that was most shocking last night was the suggestion, because there were a couple of other radio interactions that we managed to grab clips of last night, weren't there? And at one point, the woman says, "You are breaking international law," and you just feel like,
how dare you?
How can you? How
it is a war crime to starve people to death.
Yeah,
just that one we know is happening.
But his beautiful comment there that the flotilla is the conscience of the world. The Palestinian people are the conscience of the world. Now, shortly after that moment,
posters of these people. That's influencers. That's an influencer to follow.
Shortly after the interception of this boat, which also featured Greta Thunberg, this is a really curious clip. This clip, we showed this last night, so apologies to those of you who were here last night, but I want to show it to Nadia. The IDF uploaded this official clip. This is the IDF uploaded this official clip.
This is the Israeli Navy. You are approaching a blockaded zone. If you wish to deliver aid to Gaza, you may do so through the established channels. Please change your course toward the port of Ashdod, where the aid will undergo a security inspection and then be transferred into the Gaza Strip.
So they chose somebody blonde with a perfect American accent.
Who was a terrible actress, as bad almost as Gal Gadot. It was just awful, just absolutely awful. I'm just going to show you some memes that have been coming through. If Israel really isn't committing genocide, why are they blocking boats carrying food, water, baby formula, and medicine?
Anybody that is against this flotilla is pro-starving people to death.
Absolutely.
That's all they're doing. Got no weapons. They never have. The 10 years they've been going back and forth trying to do this, they have never been found to have any weapons.
So as we went to bed at about 2 a.m., 3 a.m. this morning, these were some of the last clips that came through last night. Here's another moment from Greg Stoker aboard his ship. So once those initial ships had been intercepted, in a sense, the veterans ship became the lead ship. So Greg Stoker and Quentin Quarantino are the two sort of most highest profile kind of activists with the Instagram accounts on the ship.
Y'all, we're getting close to what could be our final update. As you can see off of our port, we've got the prison ship, or whatever they're going to use to detain us and collect us, flashing some of our boats. I think that ship right there is going to be the next. Yeah. I don't know if you could see it. Yeah. Okay. And then ahead of us, we've got our limit of advance. There is, if you can see the light in the distance, that is, we think, their missile destroyer and the flagship of this operation. So behind us, we're kind of one of the lead ships. We got some fast movers going in between ships. All those lights are generally our boats, but the moving lights are the Shaudag patrol boats going forward. So I think, yeah, we're going to keep sailing. We'll see what happens. But if you don't hear from us, well, we were the next on the target list. We have 9 boats confirmed. We might be the 10th, or that ship over there. We can't tell what's what anymore because our command center got taken out. That might be next. So cheers, y'all. Thanks for the engagement. And also, eyes on Gaza. The assault continues.
He's a total hero, that man, to me. Do you know what other nice little thing they thought of to do?
I've got that clip. Okay. I've got that clip. I hit screen record on a live feed from Quentin Quarantino. Check this clip out and listen at the very beginning.
Oh, that's are they spraying us with fucking shit water?
That might be shit water.
These bastards are shit.
That's skunk water.
Oh. Oh, baby.
What they're doing there, what they're calling skunk water, is they're firing their shit at the flotilla.
This is the army that Netanyahu calls the most moral army in the world.
Skunk water. They're literally firing shit at them. What the fuck? So again, I've pulled all these clips together. You all right if we just move through some of the clips still? Yeah, I just want you to kind of be up to on some of the Chris, I think he's their medic.
Ain't that the point where I say get out of our way, we're goddamn tired of your fucking game. Back to hell again, won't be your bitch, won't be your slave.
I think we're all kind of feeling it right now. We do have kind of a bright light shining on us right now. A lot of boats have broken the blockade. This is the large Israeli ship, I believe, approaching us right now. Alana says they're giving us a good selfie light. Someone just mentioned 3 hours till daybreak. Things change a lot when it gets bright outside, so they definitely feel pressed. How far in terms of time are you from Gaza? I think like 6 hours. 5 hours? We're really fucking close.
Really.
Alright, they're coming fast though, guys. Alright, get ready. Last time they came, they sprayed sulfur water on us and then on themselves and then went in a circle.
Great. There was a moment. I was watching. Oh, right.
You're getting it all over the place.
Blowing fast one.
They can't seem to figure out how to do it.
Nature is on our side.
See, as a former golf caddy, they could have hired me for assistance on which way the wind blows, but...
So they're basically trying to spray them with shit and the wind blows it back in their faces. I'm just going to move on. So we move from Quentin Quarantino to, we have to, well, it's just more kind of, just bravery.
Oh my God, just imagine how scary, how scary. We know they pay no mind to the rules.
Absolutely.
They pay no mind.
This is them boarding, circling, connecting the tech, firing water cannons. This is crew members.
Coming back.
The background there.
Yeah, they're trying to travel.
How it's so moving.
And that's Tig on the right. That's Tig on the right with his hands up. The Irish.
He's been
influencer
incredible.
comedian.
He's been incredible.
We've got this is warning them actually holding.
Wow, really need all those guns, don't we? This is how they approach everything.
They can't get on. They're going to sink the ship with the weight of their gear. All the gear, no idea.
Well, you can't even get in. I mean, this is how they approach children. This is how they arrest children in Palestine with this.
So they're taking. And this is, look at that. Again, going back to their fear. The Israelis' fear is always cameras. Look at this guy. Straight to the camera, gets the pliers out, disconnect. This is the only army that is so petrified of any footage of anything they do ever getting out.
If you're so moral and you're so right and what you're doing is within the law, why are you taking the cameras down?
Absolutely.
Why are you? I would want that recorded, that I'm doing everything absolutely according to international law.
Absolutely. Look, and here's one of the boats. Forward. Obviously, their feeds keep kind of sitting, and you see them board the ship. Top right, and boarding. So fine. Let's have a read. Why did they sail towards Gaza? Well, Claire John, someone asked that. Sorry, Kiara John. Why did they sail towards Gaza at night? Wouldn't it be better during daylight? Well, there's only 12 hours in daylight and 12 hours in night. They got beyond where previous flotillas did. However much you aim for daylight, you know, in a weird way, I'm astonished and flabbergasted and amazed that they managed to get as many boats as they have done through to this morning. Because as soon as it becomes daylight, as you've seen there, everything becomes witnessable, filmable, clippable. You can see where the enemy is. They lose that element of surprise. Shakir Al-Bad, I can't even imagine how scared the flotilla participants must be. The most evil army in the world kidnapping you is beyond terrifying, especially when you know what they've done.
Well, and they know that they now have a piece of paper that they found in the rubble of Gaza City condemning them all as Hamas.
Yeah.
Because we know that the Netanyahu's playbook is that I call you Hamas, and then the rest of the world doesn't care if I kill you.
Absolutely.
I can bomb other countries. I can bomb embassies. I can put pagers into a market, and doesn't even matter how many other people I blow up, I maim, I blind.
Absolutely.
Because I said there was Hamas there, so that's okay. And so that is why I just feel like
the problem one is faced when you look at the American politicians who support Israel, you know, the Christian Zionists, when you look at Netanyahu, when you look at the Israelis who support this kind of aggression, there is the thing we have to accept as those who just can't understand the inability to see the iniquity and the evil. There is no gray area for them. Their approach to this is that everything done on October the 7th merits everything that's happened since.
Because October the 7th was a genocide, but everything after, they name it a genocide, but everything after is 100% not a genocide. And if you say it, then you are anti-Semitic.
Yes.
If you call any of this a genocide and you don't call October the 7th a genocide, then you're anti-Semitic. And we will try and ruin your life for saying anything that questions anything we do. We'll try and ruin your life. And they are going to try and ruin these people's lives who are actually anti-people starving to death.
And the really interesting thing was someone said on one of the lives I was watching, I forget, it might have been Quentin Quarantino, said, why do you throw your phones in? They throw their phones in, not because they're hiding anything, but it was really telling detail.
Oh, right.
It's because of, they said they will go through our phones, history has proven, they will go through our phones,
and
find all the family connections, all the family members we've messaged, all the journalists we're communicating with, all the institutions, not necessarily because anything has been said that's untoward, but then they can mark them, track them, find them. It purely is protection of.
That what they said?
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. These are some of the, Israel has intercepted the Gaza aid. So these are just some of the headlines coming through. And as we say, there's one boat that's just sat in Gaza's territorial waters without signal. Ty Hickey, Irish comedian, father to a newborn with his hands in the air moments before getting kidnapped by Israel for attempting to get baby formula into Gaza. Irish citizens call on your government to demand the immediate release of Tig and all those aboard the global.
Absolutely. Come on, what are you going to do, governments? Maybe it's a moment in a minute to show exactly how our government feels about
absolutely.
genocide.
This is the boat that's broken the blockade, though. Flotilla vessel Mykonos has broken through the blockade and reached Palestinian waters, but has kind of ground to a halt. I think it's had engine problems, actually, and I think that means it's a sort of sitting duck. And you can see on the map there, that blue dot is where they've got to. Look how close. Isn't that phenomenal?
Can they see them from the shore?
I don't know. 20 kilometers, I doubt it. It's about 20 kilometers away still. Oh. And of course, the concern is that you land, you get to the beach. What the fuck would the IDF do then? And the other thing, just to say, we're going to go into, and I think it's a really good moment to go to the absolutely astonishing ability of Labour MPs and MPs in general to feel nothing. Is I think the only way in which they can do this is that they choose to just think this would all be resolved if Hamas put down their weapon. It's the only, I'm trying to imagine that they must just think to themselves, well, if Hamas just cooperated, it would all be over. And that's enough for them to go to sleep. But it isn't enough for me. So, Naj, you posted one of these clips on your Instagram. What struck you about it?
Well, what struck me about it was that it was so refreshing to see a journalist persisting, asking difficult questions that hadn't been given, but via the IOF, because that's what it feels like. We're constantly getting Israelis. But I mean, most of the journalists have been murdered now in Israel, and anyway. in Gaza, in Palestine, and most of the world anyway dismiss brown journalists. So the only journalists that were going to be able to tell the truth or show us anything were Western journalists, when Western journalists were allowed in. And of course, that's never happened. Western journalists are not allowed in, and never have. There's been a few, but always taken around by the army.
Yeah, like
to chosen spots,
like a theme park ride.
So I've just felt, I think many of us have, woefully let down by the positioning, by the question, the way the questions are posed. You know, so to see people racing down the street as declassified, Owen Jones, these people have been amazing throughout the genocide, but we haven't got like all of them together like this before. And the pomposity of these elected officials that we pay their wages. I just want to know what you feel about the way they answer these questions.
Well, this is the declassified UK clip first. And then
do follow declassified. They're fantastic.
And then we are going to play Owen Jones's moment, as someone mentioned a bit previously, with Luke Akehurst, infamous Zionist, head of the Labour Friends of Israel, a very close ally of Keir Starmer. But this is declassified, chasing down politicians. There's a little montage at the front, which is like a tease, and then it goes into longer clips.
Ridiculous things I've ever heard.
Watch that poo there. I'm feeling slightly harassed and bullied by you.
Whoa, another one.
David Lammy, why are we selling arms to Israel, despite the UN saying that there's been a genocide in Gaza that's still ongoing? Are you a war criminal, David Lammy? Are you a genocide denier? David Lammy, have you got blood on your hands? Should you be in The Hague, David Lammy? Why won't you say anything about the genocide in Gaza? You've been absolutely silent about it. Have you got anything to say?
That's one of the most ridiculous things I've ever heard. I just did a speech, if you bothered to listen to it. I've spoken in Parliament so many times. That's just so patently ridiculous.
If you think there is a genocide, then why are we still selling arms to Israel? Why are we still sharing intelligence?
Exactly. Just talking about it isn't enough.
No comment?
Fantastic.
Hello, Tom Watson. Martin Williams here, Declassified UK. Are you still a member of Labour Friends of Israel?
I don't know, actually.
You don't know?
I think they're a very fine organisation.
Really? You think it's good that they're sending people out to shake hands with President Herzog and other people in the Israeli government?
I think it's really important that Labour shares its values and tells our partner organisations what we think. Watch that poo there. You didn't do it, did you?
No, don't worry.
You need to get out of the way.
Are you proud of the government's record of criminalising pensioners, veterans, Holocaust survivors for holding placards? Is that a source of pride?
I think I've answered all your questions, thank you. This is getting to the point where I'm feeling slightly harassed and bullied by you.
Okay, well, I'm just walking along with you. So why did...
So he's feeling harassed and bullied. What do you think about that, guys? He's being asked absolutely
appropriate
questions for the position we are in. We've all watched the videos of people being carried off in their wheelchairs and the elderly being arrested for opposing a genocide. That was a perfectly reasonable question. And he accused him of bullying him. And that is we are in really tricky waters
tricky waters, especially when you look at the pomposity of these Labour politicians. I mean, Lammy putting his hand in there.
They're checking to see if he had blood on his hands. Yeah. My God.
And he genuinely feels that I've talked about it. It tells you everything you need to know.
Yes, exactly.
It tells you everything you need to know.
I've talked about it.
That's all you've done.
I've said about it.
So he feels nothing.
Brilliant follow-up question. Yes, but why are you still arming? No answer then. Turns his back and walks through the door.
There is zero connection with the story.
Thank you.
Zero connection with the story. Zero connection with the crisis. Zero connection with the actual humanitarian implications of everything.
Your heart?
I've spoken about it.
Where's your heart? Do you care about people? How are we going to believe you care about any of us when you can just check your hands to see if there's any blood on them? You are heartless.
The other thing I would also say is some would turn around and go, well, he was kind of, and I really want to flag this up as this is how the Labour Party will have characterised Owen Jones and Declassified as hectoring, badgering.
Because they weren't informed of the questions first.
Because they never make themselves available. So when you're given only the option of essentially what it's called is doorstepping or box popping,
that's good.
Or thrusting a
holding
mic,
accountable,
you won't feel harassed and bullied if you say, all right, I'll give you some time.
Like, when was the last time we saw him being asked any questions? Keir, he had it all set up. It was beautifully lit. Do you remember? There was a backdrop, and it was him defending himself about putting Mandelson in as the ambassador to America, the most important position for an ambassador, when he knew that he was great friends with a sex trafficker paedophile. Then he sat there and he took some questions, but that was so bloody. That was so
you might have missed
staged.
This. You might have missed this because this will drive you even madder.
Oh no,
he didn't. He did a big sit-down interview with Nick Ferrari with lights in a studio, not on his radio show last week.
Oh, I didn't see it.
What was the bone of contention?
Nick Ferrari, how interesting.
Not that the UN had declared a genocide, not that we were still arming or sharing intelligence. The bone of contention was, what signal does it send, Mr. Prime Minister, to Israel that you're recognizing the state of Palestine?
Oh my God.
And so Starmer sat and answered that.
These old journalists, they're just, what is the point of them? What is the point of them? They're so scared of everything. These guys are going to get shit for this.
Well, they've been closed down. And so in exactly the same Trumpian playbook, Owen Jones, and I bet you any money Declassified won't be allowed back into the Labour conference.
Well, they were outside anyway.
Yet Labour will not tolerate any probing questions. They're as bad as everyone else. They're a shambolic bunch. And because they're the government in charge, they are genocide enablers.
Well, what do you think of that guy, of Tom, saying he was bullied? Does anybody here think that was bullying?
Utterly.
Did anyone feel he was being bullied, or was he being held accountable, being asked? Charles Kasparian. Do you remember when David Lammy berated Zara Sultana, saying she was playing for clicks? Oh, I didn't know that he'd said that. No.
Disgusting behavior by Lammy. Does he think it's funny? They just don't know what to say when cornered, scared of saying the wrong thing to protect his position. But they don't. Did
anyone
anything.
Feel that he was being bullied? What a pathetic use. A disgraceful use of the word.
They don't feel anything.
An abuse of the word.
They don't feel anything. So there's just one more clip here because the Emily Thornberry one doesn't really go anywhere. And so there's this other guy. Listen to this.
Okay, well, I'm just walking along with you. So why did you go to Israel with Labour Friends of Israel and shake hands with President Herzog?
I was asked to go. I just do as I'm told. You know me.
Who asked you to go? Labour Friends of Israel.
Yes.
I was asked to go, and I do as I'm told.
Speaker of the House. Speaker of the House.
He said it out loud.
Speaker of the House, Lindsay Hoyle, had some motion blocked so that they couldn't examine his trips to Israel.
This guy just said, I do as I'm told.
I do as I'm told. Okay, we're now going to go to Owen Jones, who has brilliantly cornered Luke Akehurst, someone I think is the MP for Durham. He's brought into the party. He's an ardent extremist Zionist supporter. He is very close to Starmer. He was, I don't know if he still is, was head of or very high up in the Labour Friends of Israel, has been involved with all sorts of Israeli lobbying of our government. Check this moment out. Owen Jones.
Owen Jones now is not allowed to go to the Labour Party conferences.
Yeah, check this out.
Do not think it crosses the bar.
How would you describe
genocide?
How would you describe deliberately shooting children in the head and the chest?
I don't accept the G word being used even now. Nor does the British government.
Even though a consensus of genocide scholars has said this is genocide.
The opinions of some people, not the opinion of the British government.
Well, who do you think we should defer to more?
The British government. I'm a Labour fucking MP. I'm going to...
over genocide scholars?
Yeah, but we should listen to our own government's legal analysis.
Right. So when Yoav Gallant said we're cutting off all food and water because we're fighting human animals, you didn't think that was genocidal?
No, I disagree with. I think that many of the things that Israel has done have not even helped Israel. I think they've been the behaviour has been daft in a lot of circumstances. It's been reprehensible in some circumstances. I do not think it crosses the bar.
How would you describe? How would you describe deliberately shooting children in the head and the chest? How would you describe that?
I'm just not sure I believe that anyone has deliberately done that.
So why have dozens of US-based medics reported, having served in Gaza, that Palestinian children have been shot in the head and the chest deliberately by Israeli snipers?
I don't believe that that's happened.
So why are they saying it?
I don't know.
Why? So you know better than genocide scholars and medical experts, medics who served in Gaza?
Well, I know what I believe.
But it's not based on any facts, is it?
But why? How come I'm in the same point of assessment as the British government is?
The British government is legally implicated in the crimes of trying to...
So now we get into... they're all genocidal, the British government...
But if you arm a genocide, it makes you complicit. And why did the...
Arm a genocide?
Do you think it's...
We stopped arms exports in the summer of last year.
No, we don't. We provide crucial components for F-35 jets, and I'm sure you know about the Arms Trade Treaty of 2014. If you provide components for F-35 jets implicated in war crimes or genocide, then you are legally complicit. Do you know that?
No, I don't. Okay, I think we've probably exhausted. I mean, you're not going to get the answers you want.
Well, I know, but you're a pro-Israel lobbyist. It seems like you don't actually know what you're talking about at all, and you've been very... This is your subject.
No, you've got a set of opinions. I've got a different set of opinions.
But you don't have any facts. That's the problem.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Somebody here saying, I'm a Labour MP. Somebody quoting that. I'm a Labour MP. So it's what the fucking government say. What did he say?
Michelle Georgina Dunn, I'm a Labour fucking MP. What an argument. It's like saying, because I said so.
Wow.
I mean, an astonishing bit of pinning him to the wall, revealing in close-up the lack of any argument, the paucity of any facts, the fact that they're just arguing and saying what they're saying from a position of ill-informed, jaundiced one-sidism.
Wow.
That's all this government is about. Owen Jones absolutely pilloried.
Is everybody already following Owen Jones and Declassified? Please give them a search under these videos. I know I say this quite often, but it's so important, guys, with the manipulation of the algorithm and everything. Don't just put an emoji. It does not help get these videos out. You have to comment under all these Instagram posts. Comment, tag in your, MPs, Keir Starmer, David Lack, tag them in, tag in the newspapers, tag in the news channels. Why are you not reporting this? Just flood it because God knows how they're going to silence people next. We don't know. But
I just want to show you this clip, which is going to incense you. I just can't actually believe this. I just want to do this because I need to vent some spleen. Check this clip out. You're not going to believe this.
Years I was Vice Chair of Labour Friends of Israel, and I'm very sorry that I had to stand down while become Chancellor of the Exchequer. I'll always be a friend.
You absolutely spineless, genocidal, complicit, absolute hellhole of a person. I cannot believe you can stand there with zero capacity to even if you had to, even if you were booked by the Labour Friends of Israel, you would stand there as a human and go, do you know what? It's very difficult for me to stand here today and say that her lack of humanity is for me scarier than a fucking zombie fucking apocalypse movie.
What are we going to do?
She has nothing in her heart.
Who are we going to vote for?
Lammy has nothing in his heart. These are they're fraudulent humans. They're not humans. You got into politics. Why? For self-aggrandizement and ego. And what for? Ego, narcissism. She's proud with zero.
How can you do that whilst what is going on is going on? How?
Okay, Rachel Reeves, get one of your fucking assistants to play you this bit. This is today. Hold on. Look at them.
كيف الصورة؟ قنبلة؟ هي بتدخل في حدا تصور؟
Everybody in this room.
The last 2 years have been years of indescribable sorrow. And we see what is happening in the Middle East and the aggression of Iran and others in the Middle East. We feel your pain. In the Labour Party, we feel your pain. I know as well, in the last couple of years, in the last 15 months, you haven't always been pleased with the decisions of this government. I understand that. I feel your pain.
من الطيران الحربي لهذا المنزل المأهول بالسكان، وتم إخلاء بعض من الشهداء والمصابين حتى هذه اللحظة، وطواقم الدفاع المدني
You stand there in your pompous ministerial suit saying you feel your pain, you feel nothing.
Nothing.
You feel nothing.
Middle Eastern aggression.
You feel nothing.
I mean, police.
You're finished, Labour. Absolutely finished. I can't. It's just the contrast. The contrast is too extreme. They have. I can only.
How does that
trust.
leave you feeling, guys? And those children, I just feel so much for the adults that are running around knowing they can't make a damn thing better for those kids. They can't protect them. They don't know where the next bomb is coming from. Pounding them all day, all night, pounding away and away and away in this farce of a peace deal so that it doesn't go through, so that they can finish the job. Trump has said that a number of times. Finish the job. Look at those children. That's what he's talking. That's what we're talking about.
My only answer, Minnie says, is that they have had chips implanted because I can't bear the alternative that they're actually human. That's my point. It's worse than the worst kind of horror film.
I just can't actually believe it.
Exiled Sounds. Israel lobby has stolen our democracy entirely. Entirely. Labour are disgraceful. Utterly disgraceful. Sally Beadle, I'll never vote Labour again.
And you know what? It's the way they keep moving the goalposts. So like, the ICJ, we were told, are anti-Semitic, and we can't believe anything that they say, and you know they need to be sanctioned and they need to be threatened, and then the United Nations, after a 2-year intense investigation into what was going on in Gaza, described it, or what's it called, as a genocide.
Yeah, defined it.
Defined it as a genocide. And what did they all start saying?
Oh, it's the ICJ.
It's the ICJ that has to tell us it's a genocide. What the hell?
Forever shifting the goalposts, but never the goalposts that actually the Labour Party conference has declared, you know, there was a motion to recognise the UN's declaration of genocide. So, you know, what a
But we learned there from the
mess.
chap that was being interviewed by Owen, that's not going to happen, isn't it? Because the government are now experts on genocide. Well, if that's the case, your Prime Minister... Didn't he work on another case where there was a genocide?
Absolutely.
So his expertise, and he fought hard, did he not? To get that class as a genocide, and it was classed as a genocide. So he is actually the expert, and he cannot deny it. Then surely they just stand in front of us and say whatever they want us to say, knowing that the only people that are going to hold them accountable are these sort of kinds of journalists, not the ones, not anybody else. It's so curated, it's embarrassing. And if you think that what's happening in America can't happen here, well, we're already witnessing it. It's begun.
And unfortunately, the more I look at this and the more I kind of try and pull myself out of the immediacy of the emotional response to this, Keir Starmer, you know what a Venn diagram is at school? Yeah, they're always great diagrams, aren't they? You get the circles and then you've got the crossover in the middle, then a third circle and the crossover. I'm beginning to think Keir Starmer is the most perfect center of a most elaborate Venn diagram. And it's very concerning, to quote the Labour Party. It's incredibly concerning.
And they want to be clear, crystal clear. Oh, sweet Jesus.
Ocean waves.
Ocean waves. Guys, please hit the subscribe button. Make sure other people know about what the hell is going on. Please, please, please subscribe to channels like Nova Media, Owen Jones, Declassified, and share their videos. Now, we're going to play you a few little cute funnies to just ocean wave us into the day. Ocean wave. But don't forget, please, please, Hamish Faulkner is the Secretary to the Middle East. Email him. As I said before, please keep reposting and commenting under Instagram posts. And we have all of us a part to play to try and keep those people safe that are now in Israeli prisons or heading towards Israeli prisons.
I also want to, there's never any way to verify whether something sinister motivated by intelligence agencies is going to happen, because of course the cover-ups are happening before something happens, so that there's no cover-up to talk about. This is a new development to my theory on cover-ups. But be mindful as you watch the global political setup that as any country or any regime gets cornered, and I think Israel very much feels they've lost the room in some capacity, which is why they're having to do really sort of, important things like buy TikTok or control TikTok. They already control X through Elon. Just keep a steady and careful eye on most big events that happen in the world. Just look at where they come from, what may have caused them, whose narrative do they suit, who could this benefit? Just keep that thought.
Or distract you from.
Yeah.
Double Down News, thank you, who just recommended another great, fantastic website to follow.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
False flags are a thing.
Should we have a look at some cutesies? Yeah. This is a gorgeous little Arabic girl. I'm not sure whereabouts she's from, but oh my God, she's adorable.
Here we go.
Mum and Dad, if you're watching this.
صباح الخير. ما بدي. صباح النور. ما بدي. صباح الحب. ما بدي. صباح الأكل. نم. صباح شو؟ الأكل. صباح.
No.
Can you see her again?
Yeah.
She's so gorgeous.
لولو. صباح الخير. ما بدي. صباح النور. ما بدي. صباح الحب. ما بدي. صباح الأكل. نم. صباح شو؟ الأكل. صباح.
Bless her. I'm going to play another one just to say there is a demonstration 5:30 across the country. People are gathering in various places: Parliament Square, Waterloo, many of the stations in central London, Birmingham, I know, Bristol. Big gatherings in support of the flotilla. So if anyone and everyone can, I'm certainly going to try and get to the one in Parliament Square. I'm going to play you one more funny here. Let's go to this one.
Oh, adorable. She thinks she's hiding. She goes.
Oh, peekaboo. Such peekaboo.
That Russian. I love that when they stand like this, they go, "You can't find me. You can't find me."
Made me broody.
And then where's the last one?
Oh yeah, there's one more. Made me broody.
So like
broody.
our daughter,
So
both
like,
of these,
oh my God,
our eldest. Jeez.
And then this one.
Oh, she's so.
Stop. Wake up. Hi, Chloe. Hi, Chloe. Hi, Chloe. Don't say hi me.
Why?
Don't hi me. Don't say hi me.
Why she can't say hi to you?
I don't say hi to you.
Say hi back, Chloe. Say hi, Maddie.
Hi, Maddie. Don't say hi me. Don't say hi me.
I said it once.
Oh, she's so.
What'd you say, Chloe?
Oh, she's.
I have said it, and I will say it again. She's such a queen, isn't she? Don't say hi to me. What was she? 18 months old?
Oh, God,
I mean,
phenomenal.
and just so cool. I've said it. Just don't say hi to me. I'm not ready for you. I just woke up.
So guys, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for sticking with us. Sharing our pain with you. Yeah. I am just, I just so thankful that we have this place. God knows. I'm not going to say it.
Now, of course, just briefly before we end, it's not by any means over. Once the crew members of the flotilla have been taken into Israeli custody, the kind of news flow we're going to get is going to be incredibly limited, and it's going to be incredibly difficult to kind of get any honest kind of take on anything. But when and where and if we have updates or reports, we will either go live or pre-record something just to give you a sense of where things are at. We've got to keep across them. We've got to keep supporting them. We've got to keep the message going out. And of course, those 2 clips I just showed you of those children running for their lives, looking at the sky petrified. Just remember the contrast of those with Rachel Reeves standing there in a totally inhumane
chuckling about manner. It all. It's all so funny, isn't it?
Oh.
But anyway, thank you so much. And listen, ocean waves, try and have a good day. Go out, take some nature in, take some breaths, look for the small sparks of joy in life, look for the little gratitudes. And it's also all right to have your moans and groans, because I think that's really difficult at the moment for all of us, isn't it? When there's something not going right, we just think, have we got the right? We have. But feed your souls in whatever way you can so we can continue to support.
Take care, guys. Thank you so much. Bye.